Hello, beautiful tribe, and welcome to Magic Month of May. For those of you that have not met me before, my name is Karila and I am from the Starlight Temple, and Starlight is a company that does all sorts of courses and ceremonies and spiritual travel that is about becoming more connected, more empowered, more living more of you. That is what we offer. The tools that help you live more of you. And Magic Month is our oldest, longest running webinar that we have. It is an energy forecast show, so it gives you an energetic overview of the astrology, nature, ascension energies for the month ahead, so that you can use that information to have the most magical month possible. So you know the best times to heal, the best times to manifest, so you understand the forces that are pulling your emotional body, and so that you can align with the cosmos and the earth and the flows of the month ahead. And I am so excited about May. You know, I've done Magic Month for many years, and there are not many months that I would say are actually phenomenal. Like the astrology in May 2022 is like, put your seatbelt on, it's going to be a roller coaster, but it's amazing. It's amazing. And so I've just seen that someone has said, Anna said no sound. Can everybody else hear? Can you let me know? Always some little yeah, hallelujah. It's a roller coaster. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. But it is, if you want to change, if you want to create change in any area of your life, May is your month. It is just, yeah, it's phenomenal. And yeah, I'm so excited to be sharing the forecast. So it sounds like other people can hear. Maybe someone could type in and just tell Anna that to try reloading, or make sure that her speakers are on her computer, because it seems like it's fine from this end. And so we are going to begin this forecast for the month of May that is all about transformation and acceleration and living it and moving forward and potency. You know, it's wild, May. It's wild, and it's cosmic, and it's royal, and it's powerful, and it is, like I said, not for the faint of heart. But it has so much potential for transformation and healing. And, you know, really, if you choose to work with it being, yeah, a month that can change your life forever. That's what I read from the astrology. And at the same time, because there are such powerful, you know, everything in May astrologically is potent and it's powerful and it's forceful. What I would say the medicine for May is balance, and in particular grounding. You know, it can be, it might be a month that is dizzying or disorientating or not so good for your mental health if you don't keep your feet on the ground. And so I would like to open with a meditation that really begins with grounding. And as I'm doing this, the guides are really showing me that, like, whatever your daily practices are, especially if you have a lot of high vibrational practices, a lot of breath work and things that take you higher, it may begin with the grounding. Like, it's good to go high vibrational, but you've got to do it in your bodies. You know, it's the forces of transformation are too strong for you not to begin with grounding this month. And so taking a moment to really breathe in, and actually breathe in through your mouth. Maybe open your mouth wide so that there is big breath out and big breath in. And then close your mouth and do some breaths through your nose. In and out through your nose. And you're becoming aware of the temperature of the air as you now breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Noticing the difference in the temperatures. Now hold intention with your breath. Breathing in for embodiment and out for grounding. In for embodiment and out for grounding. And just notice what happens to your physical body. Your energy as you add these two intentions of embodiment to your in-breath and grounding to your out-breath. Notice you have come into a place of peace. A place of nature. As you feel your awareness being inside this peace, inside this that is your nature. Just let your awareness be given to gravity, your consciousness. Be given to gravity. Maybe there is a part of your life that you've been holding, something you've been worrying about, stressing about. And just in this moment, give it to gravity. Give it to nature. Give it to the Great Mother. All of your dreams, all of your concerns, all that is not of service to you, and all that is of service to you. And as you give everything to gravity, as you let yourself be held by the love that is here, love that is now, held by life. Breathe in love. And breathe out gratitude. Feeling a column of source light. Come into this time and space now. Feeling your aura expanding. In all directions and being sealed from top to bottom in white and golden light. Feeling your grounding cord anchoring into the heart of Gaia, the golden age of Aquarius. And your chakric system opening to the light spectrum of the golden age. And your heart melting into a greater form of love. As you breathe in for embodiment, and out for grounding. In for embodiment and out for grounding. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming into the room, noticing how you feel. Guides are saying that if that meditation made you feel spacious, it made you feel calm, then really beginning with grounding, or even just holding that breath of embodiment and grounding would be really helpful to you in the chaotic energies that are May. And so that breath can be done, that breath with intention can be done at the start of any practice. And it can be done as you go about your day. And yeah, giving it to gravity is such a simple way of letting go. Don't use gravity enough, in my opinion. So thank you for saying that. And please, everyone, I love my webinars to be co-creative. So please do share your insights, your experiences, your guidance. Bring your noise to this webinar, because we are here to be noisy, wonderful human beings. And it is grounding, I feel, when I've tuned into May, that will help you be balanced. It is, in particular, embodiment and grounding, actually, and that brings me perfectly into the forecast. So I am starting the forecast for May on the 30th of April, because I cannot talk about May and the incredible transformation portal that it is without starting on the 30th, because the 30th is the opening, drum roll please, of the eclipse window 2022, or the first one in 22. And sorry to those of you that know Magic Month really well, but you know how I feel about eclipse windows, and I have to just talk about it because there may be people that haven't watched Magic Month before, don't know what an eclipse window is. So the eclipse window, really, the main part of it is the time between the two eclipses. You always get a minimum of 2 eclipses. You get a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, and the time period between them is about 2 weeks. One is on the full moon and one is on the new moon, and they are about every 6 months roughly. And eclipse, the reason some of you are already saying you're feeling discordant, you might already be feeling emotional, is because eclipse windows are like these amazing times for what is called shadow work. And shadow work sounds really scary, but it's not. Shadow work is working with the deep subconscious, and the deep subconscious, it's like the soil of who we are. So it's like that the eclipse windows are the time to pull out all of the weeds at their roots from the soil and clear up what we are growing out of. And I believe that shadow work and soil work is part of our reason for being here, our reason for souls incarnating on this very alchemical, transformational planet that is filled with medicines and healing. And so I believe that our souls come here to do shadow work, to do shadow work, because shadow work is it's like I was saying yesterday, actually, it's called shadow work, but it should actually be called source work, because what shadow work is you taking responsibility for what you manifest. So that is the time when you do your shadow work. It's the time to look at everything that is happening in your life and go, why have I created that? What part of me created that? And if I don't want to live it anymore, how do I uproot it? And how do I recreate a reality that doesn't create that experience that I don't want? And so, all of us are living through a period of time where the collective shadow is really showing all of us everything we don't want to live anymore. And so shadow work is really, really important. And in our personal lives, it is, in my experience, how we can recreate our lives, how we can truly change our thoughts, our words and actions and become the human beings that we want to be and that we dream to be. It's how we become the change. And so as you can see, I'm very passionate about shadow work, and eclipse windows, they are the best time for shadow work. And I have learned this not through being taught it or reading it in a book or even my guides saying it to me. I have learned it through every time I have ever done shadow work in an eclipse window. It has showed up in the most profound and amazing way in my life by the next eclipse window. So shadow work in eclipse windows for me has just been a magical experience, to the point that I was like, I think that eclipse windows are meant to be for shadow work. And I started saying that on Magic Month for years. And then I was like, oh yeah, of course, eclipses are made out of shadow. You know how they're created. It's the shadow of the earth. And so eclipse windows by their nature really bring up the things that you need to work on, the things that you need to heal, the deep subconscious roots that are no longer of service for you, that do not align with your higher self, with who you truly are. And so they are really potent and powerful times. And this eclipse window is particularly special, in my opinion, because of the astrology that is happening with it. So it opens on the 30th, it opens on Saturday, and then Sunday the 1st of May is the pagan festival of Beltane. And Beltane in the pagan calendar is the nature calendar, and so Beltane is like the sexy festival. It's when the earth and the sky are having sex. It's when all of the spring is going into its reproductive state, and it marks kind of our beginning of summer. It's a festival of fire and of passion and of that time of year that is about chemistry and creation and life force energy. And so for the eclipse to be beginning on Beltane, for me, what that means is that this eclipse window is an opportunity to really heal your sexual energy, to heal your life force energy, to heal the parts of you that need to feel more alive, that need to feel more in pleasure, that need to feel more fulfilled. Starlight, we always run healings on the eclipse, and to give you an example, the healing journey that we're running is all about the tiredness wounds and how to heal the tiredness wounds, because our tiredness is the misuse of our life force energy. And so that's what Starlight's running. And the eclipse windows are also deeply connected to the collective. And, when I was like, we're running the tiredness wounds, I was kind of like, I don't know why we're doing it, other than that I want to work on the tiredness wounds because I'm done with feeling tired. And then I realized that actually it is a reflection of the collective, because we're going through a fuel crisis on the collective this eclipse window. And, our tiredness is our inner fuel crisis. And so you don't have to work on tired this window, but but whatever you work on, I invite it to be around sexual energy, those themes of Beltane, creative energy, life force energy, waking up energy, because the eclipse is timed with Beltane, because the cosmos is showing us where to go, where to take our shadow. And then if that wasn't enough, what we've got is on the 2nd, Venus, who is, so as I always say on Magic Month, the planets in our solar system, they really control the currents of our consciousness. And so Venus, and each planet controls different currents of different consciousness, just like the moon pulls the ocean. And so Venus pulls our love and our sexual energy. And she on the 2nd, so we have eclipse, Beltane, and then Venus on the 2nd moves into Aries. And Aries is the beginning of the astrological wheel. And so, what the sky is literally mapping for us is it's saying, if you do the work, this eclipse window, you can begin your life force again. You can have a new beginning in your sexual energy, in your heart, in your aliveness, in your pleasure, in all of the things that Venus represents. And the sky is also saying it's time to move forward. It's time to change. The 2nd is so Beltane is a fabulous day to be in ceremony. What I would recommend is on the 30th, at the very least, set a healing intention. Tune into what you want to use the eclipse window for. What do you want to heal, and set that intention. Beltane, take that intention into ceremony if you can, whether it's with yourself or with others. Just take it into ceremony. And then on the 2nd, manifest, beyond the healing. What is the thing you want? Receive. It's a very, very powerful day with that Venus movement into Aries to really manifest a new beginning for yourself. Manifest the new. And then right in the middle of the eclipse window, or just after the middle, we have on the 10th, the 2nd Mercury retrograde of the year. And Mercury is the planet of communication and contracts. Contracts is particularly important because you know what your life force energy is full of, your sexual energy is full of promises and contracts. And for me, it is so significant that there's a Mercury retrograde happening inside an eclipse window, because in many ways, as I've been tuning into this eclipse window and what life force and shadow work is and all of that kind of thing to get ready for Starlight's course, what I've understood is that all the misuses of our life force energy, they ultimately come from a miscommunication. They come from when we people please, when we lie to ourselves, when we deny. They come from us not being our full selves. And so for Mercury retrograde to be part, which is like the retrograde is when the planet goes the opposite direction in the sky, or that's what it looks like from Earth. For Mercury retrograde to be happening inside an eclipse window, it's like, that is always about turning inwards and looking at how we're communicating with ourselves, how honest we're being with ourselves, diving deep. That's what every Mercury retrograde is about. For it to be happening in an eclipse window that is about the life force energy, when the voice is just an extension of the life force energy, when we tell the truth, it's like this is, the whole sky just feels like it is aligned for us to really, really, really meet the parts of ourselves that are keeping us out of alignment. And also this retrograde, it starts in Gemini, which is the twins. And, in many ways, the twins is like the crossroads place. It's like, I could be this or I could be this, two personalities of the same self. But it ends in Taurus. And Taurus is about living it and pleasure. And so it's like, if you do the work and the start of May, if you do the shadow work, if you do the deep transformational work, if you do the ceremonial work, you're going to come out of that crossroads place, out of that. I'm sometimes my higher self, and sometimes I'm a really challenged personality self. And you're going to come into a place that can really own and ground into your pleasure and ground into what's right for you and live it. Because if you're not living what is right for you, then you are not walking your path, then you are not being the change. And living it is not living it in some areas, it is living it every minute of every day. It is like, can you have the courage to go, no, there are no rules other than what my life force and my body are saying to me. And that is us liberating ourselves from the matrix. That is us ascending out of the 3D and the karma and all of those things. And for me, this eclipse window is like, come on, then live it. And anything that you're not living, it's going to come up. Like, so you can see, so you can work, because the universe loves you. And it wants you to live it as soon as possible. And at the same time that Mercury goes retrograde, on the 10th, Jupiter enters Aries until the 28th of October. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance. And, you know, what the sky is saying is like, if you do the work, if you can find a way to tell the truth and have your sexual energy embodied, you know, all of the problems from our sexual energy happen when we're not embodied. If you can, and when we don't embody every time. We're not telling ourselves the truth. So every time we go, oh, you know what, I'm tired, but I'm going to ignore the fact I'm tired. And I'm going to push through. Or I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. But if we can learn not to do that, if we can use this cosmic portal of May not to do that, or even do it less, what we get is a new beginning for our path. You know, our Jupiter moving into Aries, that is forward motion, that is abundance and path, having a new beginning, having an upgrade, changing state, being energized. This combination of Jupiter and Aries, this is about leadership. And shadow is leadership of your own life. Doing your shadow work is being a leadership of your life. And it's about ambition and courage and bravery, being the keys to your abundance over the next 4 months. It's like fortune favors the brave. That's what Jupiter in Aries is. It's like, can you be a warrior of your own self? Can you be a guardian of your own self? Because if you can, oh, the beauty and the abundance and the expansion that awaits you. Because Jupiter's in Aries. And the ones that are brave enough to take a new step into a new paradigm. That's where the path is. That's what it's saying in the sky. And it's also about filling your cup. It's like the opposite of tiredness. And so, like, literally, I love this eclipse window because everything about it is just like, this is what you need to do. You need to start in your sexual energy, and then you need to move to your voice, and then you need to change it. Like, just make a new step. It's like all written out. It's amazing. And then the eclipse window ends on the 15th or the 16th, depending on where you are in the world. And this ending of this eclipse window is amazing. So it's a full blood moon in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is like the astrological sign of transformation. It's like the one of the shadow work, you know, it's the one of like death and rebirth. A blood moon is like the most feminine moon. It's like, meet with your heart, you know, meet with your deepest core. And, you know, it's a full eclipse, which means like this eclipse window is like, if you do the work, if you really use these dates to meet yourself, to connect to yourself, to heal, to face yourself, to manifest, to intend, to drive yourself forward, if you use these energies, this washing machine of the eclipse window, then there is the opportunity for full transformation. And nothing says that more than what else is happening on the 16th. And, you know, you have to remember the middle of the month really tells you the kind of essence of what the month is about. The beginning gives you a really nice, you know, setting the scene. And the month is about Beltane and love and leadership and moving forward and sexual energy. And right in the middle is the medicine, and in the middle we have Algol, who came last eclipse window. Algol aligns with the sun on the closing of this eclipse window. Algol is the head in astrology. Algol is the asteroid that represents the head of Medusa. And Medusa, and I told this story last eclipse window, but I have to tell it again because it's so rare for Algol to be hanging around in an eclipse window. And Medusa is the head. Medusa, the story of Medusa is the story of shadow work. Medusa in the story was a priestess in the temple of Athena, the goddess Athena. And Medusa was raped by the god Poseidon. And Athena punished Medusa and turned her into a gorgon, so this figure with snakes in her hair. And you know, there's the shadow right there. The traumatic, unfair thing that happened to Medusa, the victim, and the judgment of Athena and the persecution of Poseidon created the shadow, created the monster. And everybody that looked at Medusa got turned to stone. Because ultimately shadow work is all about what you're judging, what you're not looking at. And it's only when Medusa looks at herself in the mirror. When Medusa is the hero of the story goes in with a mirror shield. And when Medusa looks at her own shadow, he chops off her head and out flies Pegasus, the winged horse. So this symbol of power and peace and grace and freedom. So it is the story of shadow work. That's why we do our shadow work, is to behead our monsters and find our peace and our freedom and our ascension. And also Medusa represents the dark feminine, the deep feminine, that deep sexual wounding, that deep imbalance. And why it's so important is because it astrologically, you know, this dark feminine energy that also is shadow work, that also is transformation work, is meeting the sun. It's like your shadows meet your truth. And what truth comes out of that? What transformation happens when the dark feminine faces the false masculine? Surely all that is left is creation. Surely all that is left is ascension, is a truth that isn't either of those polarities. And, you know, really, in the legend, the head also gets used by Athena in battle after Medusa's been beheading. It becomes like Athena's greatest weapon in battle. Because the truth is that our shadows, all of the judgments, all of the things that we fear, what they really are is our power and our protection and our potential. And so, you know, this asteroid is really about transformation and awakening and protection and owning everything, owning the story of Pisces and transcending it. The story of Pisces in many ways is that dark feminine trauma, that monster that has happened in the sexual energy between the masculine and the feminine within all of us, that is separation consciousness. And so Algol meeting the sun is like all about transformation, all about protecting. You know, anytime you're misusing your life force energy, anytime you're not being true to yourself, you're not being a guardian of the most sacred, important part of you. It's about finding a power that can stand up. Medusa is also the midnight goddess archetype, the one that is not afraid to change, to force the system to change because they have changed. It is the archetype of rebirth. It is the archetype of renewal. It is the archetype of resurrection in the feminine. It's about becoming revolutionary by living it, by dying it and living it all in one go. And once again, though, there is themes with Algol about mental health. And I know how many people are struggling with mental health at the moment because their energies are wired and they're crazy. And I'm going to say that if you are not using your spirituality to embody and to ground, then you need to explore changing that. Because you're only going to feel more mental, you know, whereas what we need to feel is more alive, is more here, is more in love with life and in love with ourselves. And so anything that makes you feel like that, go with that. Spirituality, all of those practices need to be about helping you live a life you love more. And so again, around that time, make sure you're grounding. Really tune in. Really ask the body. Don't just take a medicine, even if it's a gentle medicine like cacao, because that's what you do every day. This time, middle of the month, it's about listening. It's about truly listening to yourself and going, okay, do I want this today? Does my body want this today? But also that for Algol and the sun, it's like the dark feminine, like I said, meeting truth, the true feminine, the false masculine is Pisces colliding with Pisces, light colliding with Pisces shadow. It's Pisces colliding with Aquarius. It's everything. It's like an explosion. And that's at the end of our eclipse window. So everything can be different. And expect it to be explosive leading up to that. But you can choose, you know, you can choose to do the work. Or you can, you know, choose to work with this portal that is that can wash you of everything that's in your way. Or you cannot. You can just be thrown around by it. And all it is about is if you're going to look in the mirror. And then the end of the month gets, so the eclipse window is amazing. Please do work in the eclipse window. Don't waste it. The astrology, the so many new beginning energies, so much power in this eclipse window on every level for not just change, but ascension change, for change that is Medusa becoming Pegasus, Jupiter coming into Aries, Venus coming into Aries. This is such cool change. This is like acceleration energy, you know? So go to breath work, go to shadow work, go to ceremony, do the work, but just stay grounded. Keep breathing into yourself, keep bringing it back to yourself. And then the month, as we get out of the eclipse window, the month just, and I believe for the people that really do their work as well, the month gets so delicious and so beautiful. On the 20th, the sun aligns with the Pleiades, and the Pleiades are also, you know, this month is like rebirth, 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 rebirth. The Pleiades are rebirth. They represent the seven sisters. They're also about the feminine, but they're also so high vibrational. And, you know, this is like, okay, the shadow feminine, the head of Medusa, the dark, wounded feminine meets with the sun. And then 4 days later, the future of the feminine, the Pleiades, meets with the sun, aligns with the sun. And so all of that space you've created in the eclipse window, all of that magnetic space you've created can just be filled with activations and upgrades and downloads. Such an amazing path activation. And you know, the Pleiades, they're the opposite of suffering in how they teach. They're all about joy and heart. And it's like, this is a day to receive activations, to be in meditations, to manifest, to ask for to embody more of your higher self, to fill up with the truth of who you are on a higher self level, which is unwounded, and is able to be in your body all the time, is able to be truthful all the time. And at the same time as that, we move into Gemini season. And you know, so once again, the skies are like, but balance. Have this amazing hit. Raise your vibration like you've never raised it, but balance. So remember to ground. Remember, Gemini in many ways is about finding the middle. Remember to be in the middle. Remember not just to go up to ground. So that this embodies, so that you are living it, so you're not waiting for it in another dimension, you are living it now. And then on the 24th of May, Mars, the warrior, the guardian, enters Aries. So now we have Jupiter, Venus, and Mars all in Aries. Jupiter is path, Venus is the feminine, Mars is the masculine. Everything, the feminine, the masculine, the path, the union, all of it is in Aries, in the sign of the new beginning. And, you know, Aries is fiery and it's leadership. And so what we're going to feel is this, like, May's giving us a change of pace. It's like, okay, enough of the old, time to move forward, time to change your thoughts, words and actions, time to charge forward into new beginnings and to just embrace change. And it's so energizing. That's the other thing about Aries. You know, I was talking about the tiredness. Like, this month is all about energizing you. It's like, come on, stop being too tired to ascend. Energize, move forward. And then right at the end of the month, that to me just feels like the treasure, the reward, the gift that we are given for going through the eclipse washing machine. We have, I don't quite know how to say it, it's Aldebaran, which is an asteroid star, a star. And it aligns with the sun. And this star is so special. This star is what is known as one of the 4 royal stars. And the royal stars, they were like revered by so many ancestral and ancient cultures. They were meant to be the guardians of the night sky, and they're the gatekeepers of the higher realms of consciousness. And they're kind of like fixed stars. It's like they each rest in a corner of the night sky, almost making this kind of square or diamond between them. And Aldebaran is the leader of them all. It's like the star that belongs to the guardianship of the East. And in shamanism, the East is the total rebirth into living it. A rising sun, the dawn. And it's you know, this, when Aldebaran aligns with the sun in shamanism, it's known as the silver gate, the portal where the souls descend onto the earth. So it's like, yes, ground. Bring your higher self into the earth, into light. And it's about when this star is activating through our sun, it's about becoming wiser and deeper and living a higher truth. And complex problems being solved. It's like, for me, it's like, you know, even when I'm tuning in, I'm like, the energy is so special on that day. That is a day to manifest and to listen and to pray and to connect. 28th and 29th, days to be doing self-work that are also about embodiment, bringing the light of the higher self into the body. This whole month is an opportunity to renew your life force energy, to transcend the traumas and patterns that do not serve you, that are causing you to not be true to you, to not live as your higher self, because living as your higher self, living as your Aldebaran, aligned with the sun, in total guardianship, soul embodied. You know, that's at the end of the month. That's what the month is saying. All of this work can be full. And then all you have to do is open up and receive. Because as it happens in the skies, it happens in our consciousness. And if that wasn't enough, as that has happened on the 30th, we go into the new moon. And so the very end of the month is new moon in Gemini, about balance and new beginnings. It's the completion of the eclipse window. It's when it all starts to integrate. It's freshness and it's newness and it's new world. With all of that cosmic light and wisdom and death and rebirth power behind you. Like, I don't think ever have I ever seen a cosmic jewel of a month in all the years of doing Magic Month. It's like, to me, this month astrologically and energetically is perfect. It's like a perfect ascension passageway. It has the transformation, it has the the balance, it has the manifestation, it has the high vibrational crescendo upgrades, and it has invitation to begin again. And it's all about living it. It's the most beautiful and sacred and amazing magical month. And yeah, it's there's no way, you know, this is a royal month. It's like we need to court this month. We need to meet this month. We need to bow to it and receive it and be blessed by it and work with it, because like I said, it's a perfect passageway for an eclipse window, for ascension, for really starting again, for becoming more of who you are meant to be, for creating permanent change. You know, that much death and rebirth theme. When you do proper spiritual death and rebirth, I've done it. It is like that part of me is dying. And it's not going to be here anymore. It's not going to exist. And that's when things really change. And so, what do you think? Tell me what you think of. Tell me what you think of May. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We will also see what the guides have to offer and say about May. There are a few things I would like to tell you about first. So if you want to work on the tiredness wounds in this eclipse window, which I feel like, yeah, it's so aligned to be working on this in this particular eclipse window, then Revive begins on Friday, and it is a temple alchemy course, and temple alchemy is by far the most powerful and effective tool for shadow work that I know of. And there's all these other wonderful, amazing, beautiful channel techniques in this one. My favorite being the healing bubbles. These amazing like atmosphere bubbles that just repair you energetically from the outside. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be a really amazing, really deep, really beautiful, sacred and powerful and empowering journey with the eclipse window. And so you can click the link and find out more about that. If you don't really understand what shadow work is, you would like to know more about eclipse windows and just go deeper, I'm doing a free Q&A tomorrow evening that is going to be led by people's questions. So it's an opportunity for you to find out. Yeah, what you want to know as opposed to what I think you want to know about shadow healing. It's my favorite style of teaching, actually, because it's just, yeah, where the questions lead the guides, and the teaching is always so fascinating and so amazing. And so hopefully that will give you greater insight and prepare you more for the eclipse window. Beltane. See, this kind of month where there's this much shadow and transformation, it's a month where Starlight works really hard, because Starlight does a lot that is about holding space for people's transformation. And so we also on Beltane have a fire and light chamber ceremony to connect to Beltane and to experience your life force as love. Actually, on the 29th, on that amazing Aldebaran, I'm going to be doing, totally by accident, a yoni workshop for anybody local to Brighton. And possibly around, now I've found out about the algol in the middle of the month and the end of the eclipse, we might do a held in prayer ceremony. So you can use any of the links to sign up to our mailing list if you want to join. Fire ceremony and held in prayer are by donation. Q&A is free. The Starlight Sanctuary is our temple is always open. It's our subscription service, and what I love about it is it's all about coming into your path and being supported in your path and focusing on manifestation rather than healing. And it's very much in flow, so probably on the Palladian night we'll be working with the Pleiades, for example. So, you know, it's very much designed around the month, and it's really awesome. It's really just so wonderful to be having that ongoing journey. That temple is always open space for you and for me. And so that month is, the first month is free. So if you feel like trying out the sanctuary for this incredible month of May, you can click the link and find out more. So yeah, like I said, we have loads on offer because this kind of month is when what Starlight offers is, you know, their medicine. It's like Starlight is all about shadow work and transformation and sexual energy, and so like this is our busy time. And so there's loads on and whatever resonates, but I highly recommend you tuning in to Revive, because yeah, I don't think of all of the years of Eclipse Window courses I've ever quite had such an interesting subject as tiredness. That has, you know, it's like I've suddenly been like, I don't understand how I've done all of this self-work and I've never really looked until now at why I'm tired, you know? Feels like so important for our ascension that we stop being tired, because as the guides say, tiredness is the misuse of our energy. It's the misuse of our sacred energy. And so yes, you can be tired in terms of needing rest. So the times of the tiredness, all of it can be done in your own time. And in a way, I've left the whole of the eclipse window very spacious. So I've kind of been waiting to see how many people sign up from which countries so that it can be timed to accommodate them. But I'm thinking that the majority of the stuff will be late afternoon, early evening, and potentially I might even, if there's lots of people in like Japan or America, I might try and coordinate it to roll up and down with their times. But I'm waiting to see who signs up, basically. It doesn't matter if you can't make it live, you will be able to listen to the replays. But yeah, the main kind of time I'm thinking is around the time your tiredness comes up. So yeah, that like early evening time, late afternoon time for at least some of the lives, because that's when we've got to the end of the day, when the light is changing and we start to feel tired. And amazing that you're going to be in a circle of women on Beltane. That's awesome. And so happy you're like in this sanctuary. Yeah. It is exciting and amazing. Thank you all so much for everything you're saying. Yeah, it is amazing. It is amazing. Let's pick a card. See, I feel like the cards I chose to bring to this magic month is Divine Abundance, because I feel like it's like an opportunity made to come out of the false abundance and into the true abundance. You know, into the true abundance of being true to you, which is therefore living your higher self, which is therefore living your path, which is therefore being provided for. And so, yeah. Oh, lovely that Anna will be with you too. And this one fell out already, and it's true offering. True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. That is shadow work. You know, what you do in shadow work is you exchange something you are holding on to, something you are living, so that you can live a new reality. It is a true offering. If anything, like, we must be so grateful for our shadow, because it's essentially the fuel that we are getting to burn in order to create ascension, you know. And the other card is faith. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. You know, like, in a way, what we're working on, I believe, especially with this life force theme of Beltane and communication, the Mercury and the eclipse window, is like, when our life force energy is in our body, that's our receptive energy. That is how we receive. That is how we don't burn out. It's how we be in two-way flow. And it's, you know, faith, one of my most favorite teachings from last year from the guides was that faith is believing in your own divinity. It's like, if we truly believed in our own divinity, would we ever do something that wasn't right for us? It's so, like, it is ascension to stop doing the things that aren't right for us and just do the things that are right for us. That is the quickest, simplest way to ascension. And obviously it's easy said, but difficult done until we do the shadow work on why we're doing those things. And yeah, I will think about another held in prayer. I have some land work that needs to be done, I think, at this time. And so if it is going to be done at that time, then the held in prayer will happen. But let's see if the guides have anything to say to you all. Children of love, children of the rainbow prayer, we say that this eclipse window is not simply an eclipse window for crystallining the consciousness, but as the cosmic map shows to you, it is an eclipse window for crystallining the life force energy. And what does Crystallining means becoming more diamond-like, stronger in yourself and more able to hold and transmit light, the light of who you truly are. And what does this mean? This means that manifestation is more defined because your life force energy is your creative energy. It is your creational energy. And when your life force energy has more light inside of it, light is a force that defines, that creates more clarity, and so your life force energy crystallining means that you are able to manifest with more clarity, and we say this is a wonderful thing, is it not? But how many of you have been frustrated with being able to manifest vaguely, to get close to what you want, but feel that manifesting with accuracy is still so challenging or even impossible? And we say that this is because there is not enough light in the creative energy, in the life force energy. Why is there not enough light? Because every time your life force energy leaves your body, where does it go? It goes into your shadow. When your life force energy is drained or tired through a shadow pattern, you have lost some of your light. You have been drained of the light. That means you can manifest with clarity, create with clarity. And so the more you fulfill yourself, the more you do that which lights you up right now. The more light you will have in your life force energy, and therefore the more creational command you will have over your life. Your life force energy is your spirit experiencing life in your body. And we say to you that whatever you intend to heal this eclipse window, and we invite you to use this eclipse window to heal. whatever you intend to heal. Make sure that it is with the intention to live more, to become more crystalline within the sexual energy. And it is this crystallining process that will mean your life force energy is less likely to go into your shadow, is less likely to become a lie to yourself or a lie in your voice. Just as the map of the sky shows, this is a month of the Jules journey, of going through deep and powerful transformation, to become this crystalline aliveness of your own self, so shiny, so full of rainbow wisdom, so strong in that which you know to be true, and so good at inspiring it in those around you. We say, follow your hearts to the healings and the ceremonies that feel right for you, but please do your best to be held, to be supported in this process. Consciousness has been crystallined before, but human life force energy, to be crystallined, this is new. This is a human experience that you will all experience first, if you choose to receive this experience. Be in the promise and the faith, and not the drama and the story. Be supported in every way that you can. Believe, be alive with your own divinity. Breathing in love. Breathing out gratitude. And sending your love and gratitude to the guides for that very beautiful message. Before we close, I'd really like to share one more breath, because I really feel like a lot of us, even if you're not doing the tiredness wound journey, are going to be meeting tiredness. Because our tiredness, this eclipse window, whether you're focusing that or not, it's about life force energy, and our tiredness is the expression of where we're not quite using our life force energy in alignment. Why? Because our tiredness is the experience of our soul, you know, us pushing our free will, not receiving the soul, our free will going in the opposite direction of this, the way of the soul. And I believe that that inner fuel crisis is coming up in the greater fuel crisis. I feel like it's part of what we are collectively meant to be healing. And this breath actually came out of the Starlight Sanctuary, and it's just amazing. Like, if you are like, oh, I'm really tired and I'm just feeling like I need to energize myself, it's another intention breath. So simple, these intention breaths. And so all you do is you breathe in with the intention to energize your body, and you breathe out with the intention to energize your aura. And for me, even doing it once, I'm like, oh, I'm more awake. So just try it again. And then if you really need to wake yourself up, because the reason I'm sharing this is because in eclipse windows, what's in the way comes up. So I expect a lot of you will feel chronic tiredness come up at some point because it's clearing from the collective. And, you know, if you've got to work and look after kids and all of that kind of thing, this is really useful for kind of bringing you back to center. And so what you can do is then breathe in as if you've got a straw, and breathe out, and it's like it's not a he, it's like a ha. And it's not quite ujjayi breath, it's more relaxed than ujjayi breath. And you keep the intention to energize your body when you breathe in. And energize your aura when you breathe out. Just noticing how that breath has made you feel as you do one more. And then maybe return to the breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, breathing in to embody, and out to ground. In to embody, and out to ground. Noticing how you feel. Really noticing what Magic Month has gifted you this evening. Connecting to the important dates for you. Not all of the information on it might have been for you. Connecting to the important intentions that you have. For the month ahead. Sending your love and your gratitude to Gaia, to all minerals, to all animals, to all plants. for all of humankind, all of fire, all of air, all of water, all of earth, all of love, all of light, all of matter, all of mystery, all of source, to all of life, to all of self, to the guides and planets, to each other, breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. When you're ready, opening your eyes and coming into the room. Hope Magic Month has been helpful to you. If it has, please do share it, let other people know about it. I'm really trying to begin to get away from those Piscean ways of promoting. And I feel like the Aquarian way is that everything that's good for us we pass on, and so I'm passing on all the useful stuff. And if Magic Month was useful to you, please pass it on, let it help others. I hope to see you at whatever calls you next of Starlight's offerings. Maybe it will be tomorrow night if you're coming to the Shadow Work Q&A. Sending you all so much love, so much light, so much magic, and may you have the most amazing month of May.